Hey guys, it's Stephen here. How are you all doing? I hope you had a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend and a wonderful start to the week as well. Manchester City have Schalke tomorrow in the Champions League. The Champions League has come back around. It's time to sing that infamous theme tune that I'm not going to sing in this video, even though you probably want me to. You probably don't actually, because I can hold a tune, but not to that level. Anyway, the Champions League is back and City plays Schalke tomorrow. So today I'm going to take a very close look at this game, what we can expect in terms of from Schalke and so on. Look at the lineup, maybe the team news and all that kind of stuff, and just go through it in a bit more detail. I hope you enjoy the video, and don't forget, if you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm doing loads of videos all the time at the moment, and I'm really enjoying doing it as well. So if you are new, welcome to the channel. Hello, I'm sure everyone in the comments will tell you how good this channel is. Please say nice words in the comments below. But let's get onto this game. Before we do though, actually, let's look at some of the little kind of takeaways of news popping around today. According to Jack Gorn, a journalist, City are in negotiations with Aymeric Laporte to give him a new and improved contract after an incredible first year and a half at Manchester City Football Club. Cheeky wants him basically snapped up for a long time. I think he's gotten to like 23 in his contract, something like that. But I think we basically want to improve it and show to him how much we actually care about him. And that's not a bad idea, really, just to show that faith, because Laporte's been absolutely fantastic. And away from that, there's a bit of transfer news in terms of a 16-year-old Spanish left-sided fullback stroke winger, the Spanish youth international Oscar Terenzi. Apparently, we've signed him from Espanyol for €300,000. We've signed fullbacks before from Espanyol. Mr. Pablo Zabaleta springs to mind. So if he's anything like him, that will do for me. We won't see him for a long time, I'm sure. Highly rated as they always are, but that's going to be one to keep an eye on at some point in the future. But anyway, let's go into what Pep was saying in the press conference. Pep was very, very cautious about this game, as you'd expect. He was saying basically you can't go through if you're not yourself. We've got to play our best game against Schalke, which he's obviously right too. He was also incredibly complimentary about Bernardo Silva. Now I'm going to read these quotes out. He said, after a journalist asked him if he's the next big star of the Portuguese national team, he said he is the big star already. He said he's a lovely guy, and then he went, I think this season he's one of the best 2 or 3 players in the Premier League. He is a joy. For a manager, I am actually incredibly lucky to have Bernardo, to enjoy him in every training session, in every single game. He's a lovely guy. I love him. Pep absolutely mugging off Ronaldo there, which I love. So I love that he basically just shunted Ronaldo aside and said that Bernardo is the best Portuguese player. And you know what? Bernardo is absolutely phenomenal, definitely one of the best players in the Premier League this season. So basically, he was really complimentary towards Bernardo Silva and said that City have to be focused for this game. So onto the team news. The travelling squad looks like this. It's Ederson, Muric and Grimshaw, the travelling keepers. Walker, Danilo, Sandler. Interesting enough, Philip Sandler's made the journey. Kompany, Laporte, Otamendi, Zinchenko, the defenders. Midfielders, Gundogan, Fernandinho, De Bruyne, David Silva, Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden. And the forwards, Mahrez, Sterling, Sane and Aguero. So some notable names not there. No John Stones, no Gabriel Jesus. Now, apparently for them, it's just a little kind of precautionary thing. Pep said they're okay, just not okay enough to actually travel to Germany. So I'm hoping it's just a kind of very precautionary thing, and they will be involved in Sunday, fingers crossed. But they are out at the moment for this game. And also no Mendes, who I guess, even though he is training at the moment, isn't quite ready. And once again, no Fabian Delph, who seems to have disappeared a little bit off the radar there. But Vincent Kompany is back in the squad, which is great. And Sandler as well, a surprise inclusion. And we've got basically enough there to do something from this. So there's a few injuries, but I think in general, this squad, we've got enough there to maybe kind of even change 1 or 2 players ahead of the game, and also do a strong enough job away in Schalke to actually get the result and the goals that hopefully we need away from home. So as to go into the lineup, well, for me, this is very, very tricky, because I'm trying to pick this team with Sunday in mind. Ederson will start, obviously. Kyle Walker, I think, is obviously going to start as well, right back. And then for me, the centre-back is where it gets interesting. Now, you've got to remember last season's Carabao Cup final, Kompany kind of played out of nowhere. It was fantastic. And I wouldn't be surprised again if Kompany starts on Sunday. So bearing that in mind, I don't think he'll play tomorrow. I think it'll be Otamendi and Laporte with no Stones there as well, with Danilo at left-back. Because I think Zinchenko, given how well he played against Chelsea last week, he's basically lined on to start again against Chelsea, and he probably earned it given his performance against Chelsea last time. So I think he'll play on Sunday. So I think it'll be Danilo at left back in this game. Fernandinho will always play because he's Fernandinho. He is essentially our most important person here. And this is where it gets confusing and very difficult given the options that we've got. Now, I think De Bruyne will play in this game. I've got a feeling he will do. I think David Silva will drop to the bench after his Newport game. And I think Gundogan will come in. So I think we'll see De Bruyne and Gundogan ahead of Fernandinho as the midfield three there. Which gives us a bit of kind of guile. De Bruyne knows the German league. Gundogan was once on the books of Schalke as a very, very, very young kid. So we got that there. We got the experience and the solidity of Fernandinho. So I think that'll be the midfield three there. Even though I would like to see Bernardo maybe midfield, I don't think it's going to happen. I think David Silva will sit on the bench as well for this one. And then going forward, this is very difficult. I can see Sterling resting for this one, weirdly, because I think he'll be involved against Chelsea on Sunday. So I think Bernardo will actually play on the right. Could be Morris, but I think Bernardo might play on the right here. Aguero through the middle makes sense, given he's the only striker we've got at the moment. And then, given the fact that it's against his former club, Leroy Sane, for me, will start on the left. So I think we've got basically Ederson, Walcott, Otamendi, Laporte, Danilo, Fernandinho, De Bruyne and Gundogan, Bernardo, Aguero and Sane. Now, Sane obviously will have something big to prove to his ex-teammates there, his ex-club even. And I think in general, he'll be really up for it. And he's kind of chomping at the bit at the moment anyway. Obviously, he had a decent enough game against Newport. Not amazing, but I think he'll play this one because I think we'll see maybe some changes for the Carabao Cup final. And I think he might be one to miss out potentially. For me, Sane is due a big game. I can see him having it over in Germany. I can see him going there really, really fired up. And I'm sure Pep will want to give him the opportunity to explode out the blocks and go at Schalke and actually get to them. And do you know what? I think he will do. I think Gundogan makes sense as well because he understands the German league a lot. So does De Bruyne. So you got two players there who played a lot of their attacking midfield careers in Germany and makes sense. To me, that's a pretty balanced team. More than good enough to get something at Schalke. Now, if you go on to Schalke, no game in the Champions League is easy. I think we'd all admit that, really, on paper at very least. But in terms of a tie that we could have got, this is up there as pretty much one of the best given current circumstances. Now, Schalke aren't going to be a pushover. I'm certain of that. But having said this, Schalke aren't very good at the moment. And I'm putting that really politely as well. So basically, a bit of a backstory. Since Rabbi Matondo joined Schalke, I've been kind of paying attention to him a little bit, watched the odd game in here, just to see how he got on. And it's been really frustrating to watch, mainly because he hasn't got a touch of the ball, hardly at all. He's barely got a touch because Schalke have been terrible, pretty genuinely poor. They're currently 14th out of 18 teams in the Bundesliga, so they're only 2 places off the relegation zone. They're nowhere near the heights of last season. They're currently struggling to create any chances. They're looking genuinely like a bit of a mess of a team, so watch them turn up and be brilliant. But yeah, they're genuinely looking really poor at the moment. They're lacking creativity. They're missing a few good players. They've got no Bentalab at the moment. Stambouli injured at the moment, and Mascarell suspended, so they are missing some midfield options there as well. So they're a bit of a kind of a mess, and they haven't really got anything going forward. So in general, if we turn up and play how we should do, this is a team that is very much it could crumble if we play the way we know we can. Now, you've got to remember last season in the Champions League, we had Basel at this same stage and we turned up and we spanked them in the first leg and pretty much ended the tie right there. Now, if we genuinely play how we could, this could be the same story. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could be. Schalke are struggling at the moment. They have obviously got a couple of ex-City lads, Nastasic. For one, I never really rated Nastasic as much as other people did, but he's there, so he'll have obviously some inside info of the club in general. Probably not a Guardiola City, but you know, he's a thing. He's an ex-Manchester City player. And interestingly, got Ravi Matondo, the young Welsh lightning-quick winger that they've signed from us in January for like 7 to 10 million or something like that. Now, Ravi Matondo obviously has trained with Manchester City's first team relatively recently. He was involved in training every now and then under Guardiola, so he will know the odd thing or two. And also, he'll have something to prove. Now, I'm not going to say he's a difference maker, but don't basically let him run at Danilo if he plays, because he has got a decent amount of pace and he can score a goal. And I wouldn't be surprised, because football does this and ex-Manchester City players do like scoring against Manchester City. I wouldn't be surprised if he could if he causes a problem or two. I think in general he may find the game a bit too much. It might be a bit overwhelming as a young lad to try and take it to Manchester City. He might not even start. They might decide that for him this is a bit too much. But current form really does favour Manchester City at the moment. Schalke will not be looking forward to this game, but they will know in general that this is a chance for them to just kind of not worry about their Bundesliga woes at the moment and actually express themselves a little bit. They weren't that impressive in the group stages. They got through against Porto, Galatasaray and Lokomotiv Moscow, finishing second in their group there, winning 3 of the games on 11 points with Porto, by far the group winners on 16 points. So they kind of got through really in a group with two very poor teams in Galatasaray and Lokomotiv. So they kind of had it relatively, kind of just nondescript and kind of nothing to note really in their group stages. So this is a massive step up for them so far this season in terms of the quality they're going to play in the Champions League. We've got to go to this game. So in terms of my prediction, I hate this bit. I really hate this bit because it could go absolutely any way. But I do think if we turn up with the focus that we showed recently, and the moment we're not taking any game lightly. I thought our attitude even against Newport was really good, given the fact that that was a horrible minging game. And this kind of game, I can see us turn up and wanting to try and finish it in the first leg. I don't think we will finish in the first leg, but I think we'll win. I'm going to go for 3-1 tomorrow because I've got a feeling they will score to make it interesting. But the 3 away goals, if we get them, and don't say I jinxed it because it's just being honest, is enough there to us to, in my opinion, close that leg off in the first game, because I do think we'll score at home and it'll be too much for them to score 3 away goals, because at the moment they're not scoring goals. Now, I'm still worried that they might start doing it, but this is a team that is struggling for identity, struggling for creativity and confidence, and they're not that great defensively either. So this is looking likely to be a Manchester City win, and it should be a comfortable win if we play as well as we should do. And given the score we've got at the moment, given how fired they are, I think it should be enough. Anyway, guys, that's just my take on this whole situation. As ever, I want to know what you think in terms of the team lineup, how you think the game will go, what you make of Schalke so far this season, and do we have anything to worry about in general. Don't forget, if you are new to this channel, make sure you like this video below somewhere, click that subscribe button, which is down here somewhere below the video. Scroll down, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for the match reaction after the game. In a bit, Blues.